15 real SQL join interview questions, hardest last. Pause, write your answer, then watch mine, including the null traps interviewers love. Here's how this works. For every question I put the scenario on screen, you pause the video and actually write the SQL by hand, and then you press play and compare against my answer and the exact result it returns. Writing it yourself is the whole point, recognition is not recall, and in the interview you have to produce the query, not nod along to it. We'll use 3 tiny tables the entire way through, so screenshot this. Users has 3 people, Alice, Bob, and Carol has never placed an order. Orders has 4 rows, 2 belong to Alice, 1 to Bob, and order 104 points at user 9, who does not exist, that's a deliberate orphan. And an employees table with a manager column, where Ada is the boss and reports to nobody. Those unmatched rows, Carol with no orders, the orphan order, the boss with no manager, are exactly where interviewers set their traps. We go in 5 batches, warm-ups, the left join traps, self-joins, the 2 hard ones, and a cheat sheet for picking the right join under pressure. Let's start. Warm-ups, inner versus left, questions 1 through 5. Question 1, write a query that lists each order together with the name of the user who placed it. Pause now and write it. Here's the answer, select u.name, o.id, o.amount from users you join orders o on u.id equals o.user_id. A plain join is an inner join. Question 2, how many rows does that return, and why isn't it 3 or 4? Pause. 3 rows. Alice matches 2 orders so she appears twice, that's fan out, 1 user becoming many rows. Bob appears once. Carol has no order and order 104 has no user, so both are dropped. Only rows matched on both sides survive. Question 3, change it so every user appears, even one with no orders. Pause and write it. Swap in a left join, from users you left join orders o on u.id equals o.user_id. Now you get 4 rows. Question 4, in that result, what are order ID and amount for Carol? Pause. Both are null. Carol has no matching order, so the right-hand columns come back null padded. That's the signature of a left join, the left row survives, the missing side is null. Question 5, does that left join bring back the orphan order 104? Pause. No. A left join keeps every row of the left table, which is users. Order 104 lives on the right with no matching user, so it's still dropped. To keep it you'd need a right join or a full outer join. Nail those 5 and you understand 90% of everyday joins. The left join traps, questions 6 through 10, and this is where interviews are won or lost. Question 6, find all users who have never placed an order. Pause and write it. This is the anti-join. Left join orders on the match, then where o.id is null. Select u.name from users you left join orders o on u.id equals o.user_id where o.id is null. The answer is Carol, she's the only row that came back null padded. Question 7, a candidate instead writes where u.id not in, select user_id from orders. What's the risk? Pause. If any order has a null user_id, not in with a null returns unknown for every row, and you silently get 0 results. Not in over a nullable column is a classic trap. Prefer the left join is null anti-join, or not exists. Question 8, this query is supposed to list every user with their order amounts, but the users with no orders vanished. Why? The query left joins orders and then says where o.amount greater than 0. Pause and diagnose it. Carol's amount is null, and null greater than 0 is not true, so her row is filtered out after the join. A where clause on a right table column silently demotes your left join into an inner join. Question 9, fix it so users with no orders still appear. Pause. Move the condition into the on clause, on u.id equals o.user_id and o.amount greater than 0. Now the filter is part of the match, and unmatched users stay with nulls. Conditions on the right table belong in on, not where, unless it's an is-null check on purpose. Question 10, count how many orders each user has, including the ones with 0, and tell me why count star is wrong. Pause. Select u.name, count of o.id, from users left join orders, group by name. Alice 2, Bob 1, Carol 0. Count of o.id ignores nulls, so Carol correctly gets 0. Count star counts the null padded row and would give Carol a phantom 1. Self-joins and hierarchy, questions 11 through 13. Now we switch to the employees table, where each row points at its manager in the same table. Ada is the boss with a null manager, Bell and Cy report to Ada, reports to Bell. Question 11, list every employee alongside their manager's name, and make sure the boss still shows up. Pause and write it. Join the table to itself with two aliases. Select e.name as employee, m.name as manager. From employees e left join employees m on e.manager_id equals m.id. You get Ada with a null manager, Bell and Cy managed by Ada, and .managed by Bell. Question 12, why left join and not inner? Pause. Because Ada's manager_id is null, so she has no matching manager row. An inner join would silently drop the CEO. The left join keeps her with manager equals null. Question 13, find employees who earn more than their manager. Pause and write it. Here you want an inner join, because an employee with no manager has nothing to compare against. Select e.name from employees e join employees m on e.manager_id equals m.id where e.salary greater than m.salary. Earns 160 and her manager Bell earns 150, so is the only one who qualifies. Notice the pattern flip, 11 wanted left so the boss stayed, 13 wants inner so the boss is correctly excluded. The join type encodes the requirement. The hard 2, questions 14 and 15. Question 14, MySQL has no full outer join keyword. Emulate 1 over users and orders so you keep unmatched rows from both sides. Pause and write it. Union a left join with a right join. Select from users left join orders, union, select from users right join orders on the same condition. The left half gives you Carol with a null order, the right half gives you the orphan 104 with a null user, and union removes the duplicated matched rows. That's a full outer join in every database that lacks one. Question 15, the tough one. For each user, find their single highest order amount, and do it without a window function. Pause and really try this one. Use a self-anti-join. Left join orders to itself on the same user where the second copy has a larger amount, then keep only the rows where no larger order was found, where o2.id is null. Select o.user_id, o.amount, from orders o left join orders o2 on o.user_id equals o2.user_id and o2.amount greater than o.amount, where o2.id is null. For each user, if nothing bigger exists, this row is the maximum. You get 50 for Alice, 75 for Bob, and 40 for the orphan user. The modern one-liner is row number over partition by user order by amount descending, but the self-anti-join is the answer that proves you actually understand joins, and plenty of interviewers still ask for it. The cheat sheet, how to recognize which join a question wants, before you write a single line. Read the requirement, then map it. If the question says list A with its matching B and drop anything unmatched, that's a plain inner join. If it says keep all of A even when B is missing, that's a left join, with A on the left. If it says find rows in A with no match in B, that's the anti-join, left join, then where B's ID is null. If it says keep everything on both sides, that's a full outer join, or a left union right in MySQL. If a row references another row in the same table, a manager, a parent category, a previous event, that's a self-join, and use left if that link can be null. And if it says count or total per group including the empty ones, left join and count the child's ID, never count star. 3 traps to tattoo on your brain. 1. A filter on the right table goes in the on clause, or it demotes your left join to an inner join. 2. Not in with a nullable column can return nothing, use not exists or the is null anti-join. 3. A one-to-many join multiplies rows, so a naive sum double counts, pre-aggregate in a subquery, or use distinct to dedup. Name the pattern first, write the SQL second. That's 15. If you paused and wrote every one, you didn't just review joins, you rehearsed exactly what the interview asks you to do. The through line, the join type is a decision, not a default. Inner keeps matches, left keeps the left side and pads the rest with null, the anti-join finds what's missing, and a filter in the wrong clause quietly changes the answer. If any of these felt shaky, watch the companion video, SQL Joins Explained Visually, where you see the actual rows match up one join at a time, the links in the description along with the free written guide at generalistprogrammer.com. If you want more graded practice like this, the SQL and database design pack goes deeper for $19, and it's completely optional. Now go write some queries. Thanks for practicing with me, I'll see you in the next one.